Remember that promise you once made to yourself? The dream you swore you wouldn't give up on? Somewhere along the way, life's noise may have buried it, but it's still there, waiting for you. This is your reminder, don't to forget the life you promised to yourself. Because if you let go of that promise, not just losing a dream, you losing yourself. Remember your vision. When you were younger, or maybe even just a few years ago, you had a vision of the life you wanted to live. It wasn't random. It wasn't meaningless. It came from something inside you that knew you were capable of more. That vision was a spark, a moment when you saw yourself stronger, happier, more successful, or finally free from the things that hold you back. And even if life has buried it under responsibilities, fears, or setbacks, it is still there, waiting. The truth is, your vision is the most powerful guide you will ever have. It's the compass that points you in the right direction when you feel lost. But too often, we allow the noise of the world to drown it out. We get caught up in routines, in what others expect of us, in chasing approval, or in surviving the day grind. Slowly, we forget what we once wanted for ourselves. And the danger in forgetting is that one day we wake up and realize we've been living someone else's life, not our own. You must hold on to that vision, protect it, nurture it. Remind yourself daily why you started. Ask yourself, what kind of life did I promise myself when I was younger? What did I see when I dreamed about my future? Because the moment you stop asking those questions, you begin to drift further from the person you were meant to become. Your vision, does a T have to be perfect? And does a T have to make sense to anyone else? Maybe it's S about building a career you love. Maybe it's S about giving your family a better future. Maybe it's about creating art, traveling the world, or reaching a level of freedom few people ever find. Whatever it is, it belongs to you, and no one else has the right to take it away unless you hand it over. Remembering your vision isn't just about holding on to a dream. It's about using it as fuel. On days when you feel like quitting, that vision is what keeps you moving. When obstacles come, that vision reminds you of why you can stop now. When fear whispers that you are not good enough, that vision speaks louder. You were made for this. Think about the greatest achievers in history. They didn't succeed because they were the smartest or the strongest. They succeeded because they refused to let go of the picture in their minds. They could see it long before anyone else could. They believed in it when others laughed, doubted, or walked away. And so can you. The life you promised yourself isn't just a fantasy. It's a possibility. It becomes real the moment you decide to align your actions with your vision. It becomes real the moment you stop living on autopilot and start chasing what actually matters to you. Every step you take, every choice you make is either moving you closer to or further away from that promise. So let today be the day you choose to remember. Close your eyes and see it again. Feel the fire it once gave you. Remind yourself that your vision was not a mistake, it was a calling. And every single day you wake up, you have a chance to honor it. Don't forget the life you promised yourself. And you honor that vision, you not just chasing a dream, you stepping into the life you were always meant to live. The life you promised yourself is not a fantasy. It is a destination waiting for you. But to reach it, you must stay true to your vision, make the sacrifices required, fight through the struggles, and ultimately become the person you said. Your vision is your guide, the light that keeps you moving when everything else feels dark. Your sacrifices are the price you pay today so tomorrow can be greater. Your struggles are the tests that prove your commitment. Become who you said you'd be. At the end of the day, the life you promised yourself isn't only about achieving certain goals. It's about becoming the person you once envisioned. The version of you who stood tall, who didn't give up, who followed through on their word. The truth is, promises to others can be broken and forgiven, but the promise you make to yourself, that one stays with you forever. If you break it, you carry the weight. If you honor it, you carry the pride. Becoming who you said you'd be is not just about reaching milestones. It's less about integrity with yourself. It's less about aligning your actions with your vision and proving day after day that you are serious about the life you desire. Too many people say they want change, but continue living the same way. They dream big at night, but wake up and let excuses guide their day. They want the reward, but avoid the responsibility. But that is not who you are meant to be. You promised yourself something greater. And now it's your responsibility to step into that role. Think of it this way. Every choice you make either brings you closer to or further from the person you promised to become. When you choose discipline over distraction, you move closer. Fight through the struggles. Life will test you. It won't hand you the life you promised yourself without challenges. Instead, it will throw obstacles, delays, failures, and doubts in your path. And in those moments, it will feel tempting to believe that maybe you weren't meant to succeed. But the truth is this: struggles are not proof that you're failing. They reproof that you in the process of building something worthwhile. Every person who has ever achieved something extraordinary has faced battles. The difference between those who succeed and those who quit isn't talent, luck, or opportunity. It's the decision to fight through the struggles rather than surrender to them. Struggles aren't the end of the road. They are part of the road. They are the lessons, the sharpening, the moments that shape you into the person capable of handling the life you want. Think about it. If everything came easily, you wouldn't grow. You wouldn't develop strength. You wouldn't learn how to think differently, work harder, push further. Struggles teach you patience, endurance, creativity, and grit. Sacrifice today for tomorrow. Every promise you make to yourself comes with a price tag. The life you want, the vision you carry inside you, it won't just appear because you wish for it. Dreams are free, but the journey to reach them is not. It demands effort, focus, discipline, and yes, sacrifice. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. You cannot hold onto your comfort today and expect an extraordinary tomorrow. Sacrifice is not about losing, about trading. It's about letting go of temporary pleasures to gain lasting fulfillment. It's about saying no to what feels good in the moment. You can say yes to the life you've always wanted. Think about it. Every hour you spend scrolling aimlessly, every excuse you allow to stop you, every moment wasted in doubt or procrastination, that is time stolen from your future self. On the other hand, every small sacrifice you make today is an investment in the life you promised yourself. The people you admire, the ones who have built incredible lives, didn't get there by chance. They sacrificed nights of comfort for mornings of discipline. They sacrificed distractions so they could focus on their goals. They sacrificed what was easy in exchange for what was meaningful. That's the hidden truth of success. It's not always about talent or luck. It's just about being willing to give up what doesn't serve you in order to claim what does. But here's the problem. Sacrifice feels uncomfortable. It's never easy to give up what's convenient or familiar. Waking up earlier than everyone else hurts. Saying no to friends when you need to work on yourself is difficult. Turning down short-term pleasures to chase long-term gain feels unfair at times. But that's the point. Sacrifice separates those who only dream from those who actually build. Ask yourself, what am I willing to give up to honor the life I promised myself? Because you can't expect growth without trade-offs. If you want strength, you must sacrifice comfort. If you want knowledge, you must sacrifice ignorance. If you want freedom, you must sacrifice excuses. If you want the future you once envisioned, you must sacrifice the habits that keep you stuck in the present. You think of it like planting seeds. When you plant a seed, you don't see results right away. You water it, protect it, wait for it to grow. That's sacrifice. Choosing to put in the work now without immediate reward, trusting that the harvest will come later. Every late night of effort, every disciplined morning, every decision to stay focused when it would be easier to quit. Those are the seeds of your future. And the bigger your dream, the more seeds you'll need to plant. The truth is, most people stop because they want results without sacrifice. They want success without struggle. They want the destination without the journey. But you're not most people. You made a promise to yourself, and promises are not kept by wishing, they're re-kept by paying the price, day after day. One day, your sacrifices will turn into victories. The late nights, the hard choices, the moments when you push through the discomfort, they will all add up. And when you finally step into the life you promised yourself, you'll realize it was worth it. You want to regret the nights you gave up sleep or the times you walked away from distractions. You'll only regret the chances you didn't take, the effort you didn't give, the sacrifices you weren't willing to make. So choose wisely. Each day, decide what matters more, the quick fix of comfort now or the lasting fulfillment of tomorrow. The life you promised yourself is waiting, but it requires sacrifice today. And every time you choose discipline over excuses, focus over distractions, progress over comfort, you reproving one thing: you are serious about becoming who you said you would be. Sacrifice today because tomorrow depends on it. Fight through the struggles. Go, life will test you. It won't hand you the life you promised yourself without challenges. Instead, it will throw obstacles, delays, failures, and doubts in your path. And in those moments, it will feel tempting to believe that maybe you weren't meant to succeed. But the truth is this: struggles are not proof that you re-failing. They re-proof that you in the process of building something worthwhile. Every person who has ever achieved something extraordinary has faced battles. The difference between those who succeed and those who quit isn't talent, luck, or opportunity. It's the decision to fight through the struggles rather than surrender to them. Struggles aren't the end of the road. They are part of the road. They are the lessons, the sharpening, the moments that shape you into the person capable of handling the life you want. Think about it. If everything came easily, you wouldn't grow. You wouldn't develop strength. You wouldn't learn how to think differently, work harder. Struggles teach you patience, endurance, creativity, and grit. They ask you, how badly do you want this? And your answer is not spoken. It's shown in whether you keep moving when it gets hard. Most people quit when struggles appear. They see challenges as signs to stop, not signs to continue. But the truth is, struggles are a test of your commitment. When everything seems against you, you have two choices: give up and stay where you are, or keep fighting and push toward the life you promised yourself. One choice leads to regret, the other leads to growth. It's important to understand that struggles are temporary, but quitting makes them permanent. The pain of effort, the frustration of failure, the long nights of doubt, all of it passes with time. If you walk away from your promise, you carry the weight of what if for the rest of your life. That burden is far heavier than any struggle you refacing today. Doesn't mean pretending they don't hurt. It doesn't mean ignoring the setbacks or denying the pain. It means accepting that they are part of the journey and choosing not to stop because of them. It means looking at the storm and saying, you can slow me down, but you will not break me. History is filled with examples of people who pushed through struggles when it would have been easier to quit. Innovators who were told their ideas were impossible. Athletes who trained through injuries. Leaders who faced rejection, criticism, and failure countless times before they finally made it. They weren't superhuman. They just refused to let the struggle decide their future. And that's the mindset you need to carry. Struggles are not there to defeat you. They are there to shape you. Every challenge you face today is preparing you for tomorrow. Every difficulty is carving strength into your character. Every failure is teaching you a lesson you'll need later. When you see struggles this way, They stop being roadblocks and start becoming stepping stones. So the next time life knocks you down, don't see it as the end. Stand back up. When doubt creeps in, push harder. When fear whispers that you cannot do it, remind yourself why you started. Remember the promise you made to yourself, because that promise is greater than the pain of any struggle. You may not control how tough the battle gets, but you control whether or not you keep swinging. And the truth is, the life you promised yourself will never belong to the person who gives up. When it gets hard, it belongs to the one who refuses to stop fighting. Keep moving forward, keep battling through the struggles, because the day will come when you look back and realize every fight was worth it. Become who you said you'd be. At the end of the day, the life you promised yourself isn't only about achieving certain goals. It's about becoming the person you once envisioned. The version of you who stood tall, who didn't give up, who followed through on their word. The truth is, promises to others can be broken and forgiven, but the promise you make to yourself, that one stays with you forever. If you break it, you carry the weight. If you honor it, you carry the pride. Becoming who you said you'd be is not just about reaching milestones. It's less about integrity with yourself. It's less about aligning your actions with your vision and proving day after day that you are serious about the life you desire. Too many people say they want change, but continue living the same way. They dream big at night, but wake up and let excuses guide their day. They want the reward, but avoid the responsibility. But that is not who you are meant to be. You promised yourself something greater, and now it's your responsibility to step into that role. Think of it this way. Every choice you make either brings you closer to or further from the person you promised to become. When you choose discipline over distraction, you move closer. When you choose courage over fear, you move closer. When you keep pushing after setbacks, you move closer. Every decision is a brick, and with time, those bricks build the foundation of the life you envisioned. But here's the challenge. Becoming that person requires honesty. It requires looking in the mirror and asking, am I living as the person I once said I would be? Am I keeping the promises I made to myself, or am I settling? That kind of self-reflection is not always comfortable, but it is necessary. Growth only happens when you stop lying to yourself and start demanding more from yourself. Becoming who you said you'd be is also about character. It's not just about material success, wealth, or recognition. It is about the strength of your spirit, the consistency of your actions, and the courage to stand for your own values. The person you promised yourself you'd become is not perfect, but they are committed. They show up even when it's hard. They follow through even when no one is watching. They keep the fire alive because they know that breaking their own promise would mean betraying their future. Think about the pride you'll feel when you can look back and say, I didn't give in. I didn't sell myself short. I became the person I always said I would be. That kind of pride cannot be bought. It is earned. It is the reward for every sacrifice, every struggle, every difficult choice along the way. And it is worth far more than the temporary comfort you give up on the journey. To yourself, to live up to your word, not because the road is easy, but because the promise was never meant to be easy. If it was, everyone would keep theirs. But most people quit, and that is why their dreams stay unfinished. You cannot let yourself fall into that category. You must stand out as someone who follows through, someone who honors their own word, someone who becomes exactly who they said they would be. So don't forget your promise. Don't let doubt, fear, or laziness rob you of the life you deserve. Every morning you wake up is another chance to prove to yourself that you are serious, that you are committed, that you are becoming the person you always envisioned. Because when's all said and done, success isn't just about what you achieve. It's about who you become. And if you can truly become the person you promised yourself, you will realize that was the greatest victory of all, the life you promised yourself is not a fantasy. It is a destination waiting for you. But to reach it, you must stay true to your vision, make the sacrifices required, fight through the struggles, and ultimately become the person you said you're to be. Your vision is your guide, the light that keeps you moving when everything else feels dark. Your sacrifices are the price you pay today, so tomorrow can be greater. Your struggles are the tests that prove your commitment, shaping you into someone stronger and sharper. And finally, becoming who you said you'd be is the ultimate fulfillment, the reward of keeping your word to yourself and living in alignment with your true purpose. So when life tempts you to forget, when distractions pull you away, when struggles weigh you down, remember this: you made a promise, and that promise matters. Don't abandon it. Don't bury it. Don't let it fade into regret. Honor it. Live for it. Fight for it. And never, ever forget the life you promised yourself.